Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. A lot of friends of mine, they sometimes want to know about my communication skills seminar. Majority of the seminars, when I look at their contents, they are focused on how to speak better in order to improve your communication skills. I think what people need to focus is, number one is to improve their listening skills. The better they are listeners, the more communication will improve, because entire focus in all the communication skills that I see in Pakistan, the seminars, the workshop, they teach how to speak better, whereas I think the one part of the communication skill is to how to listen better. You have to keep your mouth shut and you have to keep your ears open. Another part which is missing in the mostly communication skill seminar is the two other aspect of communication skill. Number one is you need to be able to learn to talk to yourself. Self communication. How do you talk to yourself? Mostly people do not know this art. They need to learn it in order to become a good communicator. Number one. Secondly thing, how do you speak to your God or my Allah? So when you are praying, what are you praying basically? How do you communicate yourself, or how do you link yourself with your spiritual realities? So first thing is, which is missing in mostly communication seminar, is how do you speak to yourself. This art side is totally empty. There are books on these topics, and there is a training on this topic also. Secondly, how do you speak to your God? There are books also. Even in the Bible, the Quran and the religious literature, there are guidelines how you can communicate with God and how God communicates with you in your daily routine life. And then comes the commercial part of the communication skill. Commercial part is focused on how to speak better, whereas I think they should start from how to listen better. And in listening, silence is a part of communication. Silence is not a gap in communication. When you are silently listening, or when you are silent, pause in the communication, the pause and silence itself is a form of communication. You can communicate millions of feelings and things just by being quiet. That's why in hadith, in Islamic literature, in the Holy Bible, in Hindu literature, you will see many times the person who is in charge of the situation, he controls the situation by being silent. So silence is a ability that you have to develop, control of the tongue, and also listening skills. You need to listen attentively. You need to listen. You need to give your full attention to the person who is speaking, so that he could have faith in you, that you are listening with full attention. You are willing to solve the issue. You are willing to solve the problem. The last thing you need to do is to speak. That is the very last thing you need to do. But before the last thing, there are different steps. You need to learn how to talk to yourself. You need to learn how to talk to your God. And you need to learn how to listen silently with compassion and sympathy, empathy, whatever. And then the last step is when you start speaking. And when you start speaking, then there is another form of training. You speak with the intention of winning, or you speak with the intention of being understood. So there are so many areas of communication skills which are normally not covered in commercial communication skill seminar. I think the best form of communication, if you combine talking to yourself, talking to your God, listening and speaking, these are all focused and effective if your concepts are clear. So the conceptual clarity is the number one issue where you need to work hard, because conceptual clarity will give you the idea where you need to speak, where you need to keep quiet, where you need to consult with your own self, where you need to consult with the God Almighty. So the conceptual clarity behind all this communication process is the most important thing. So this is some of the brief comments on the communication skills seminar that are going on in Pakistan. Thank you.